Will Reichert has it all teed up. And we're off from U.S. Bank Stadium. Jackson now to return it. Big lick from the coverage team there. That's going to stop the return before it can get to the 30. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Carried by Harris here to start the drive. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few. He got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Here's 2nd and 11. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down.
I think we're seeing why this defense likes him in coverage. He reacts so well to throws and is even more adept in breaking up those passes.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Working out of the gun, it's O'Connell. He has the first over the middle. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Chargers will have a first. O'Connell here from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get this through the midfield stripe and starts pushing into Vikings territory. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Another throw for O'Connell. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Vikings will take over as he records his first interception of our season. Wow, what an exciting start to this game, Brock. Apologies to the former QB and you. It's not an opening drive touchdown, but an interception instead.
Yeah, exciting for one side. That would be the defense. Demoralizing for the other side as an offense. First salvo, listen, it goes to the defense. And now it really sets the stage for what I love and what you love, Kate. In this game of adjustments, in the game of back and forth, who's going to respond next?
Looking for his wide receiver there. And now they face 2nd down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Now for the first time, they turn to the rookie from Texas. And he reaches midfield and starts driving into Chargers territory. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Out of the shotgun. Complete beyond the marker. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down. Howell from the gun. Taking a deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete.
The offense not shy about sending him downfield to try and stretch that secondary. Even still, one of the deeper targets you'll see him get. It's a shame they couldn't find a connection.
2nd and 10. Here's Howell. Escapes the pocket. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Sent to the ground by Khalil Mack.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. And the shotgun, Howell. Short pass brought in. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
First red zone trip of this game for the Vikings. They've got 1st and 10 right along the 20. Quick throw to the left is complete. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them 1st and goal. He'll try and punch it in. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. No gain that time, and now it'll be 2nd and goal. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the pressure drives them backwards.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
And he's going to score. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. Nevis with a point after. And the Vikings will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. And the first down pass sent away by a defender, incomplete.
You know, it's tough to succeed at linebacker in most defenses if you can't hold your own in coverage. They rely on you to break up throws just like that and take some of the stress off the secondary.
Second and 10 now. O'Connell. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down. Punt team is on now, and they get this away. Calls fair catch and has it inside the 40-yard line. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be Vikings football. First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Thrown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
First down, Howell. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. So before they can get... We're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. And they corral him after a minimal gain to the 21. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
2nd down now, 7 to go. From the 21. That one's complete over the middle. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. Give them an even 10 yards on the play. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down. Cut out left. And he takes it in for Revis now for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Vikings double their lead to 14. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Jackson now to return it. And he's walloped just as he gets across the 25. What a hit. He's down shy of the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll start with a give to Harris. And this one doesn't go far. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. From the 29. Catch made over the middle. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. That tackle made by Blake Cashman.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bowler like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball. The pressure, that sped that whole play up, and it opened up a wide range of outcomes. A hurry throw almost ended up an interception, and that wasn't until after they almost brought him down behind the line for a sack.
And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. Officially a 55-yard launch. And it'll be their football. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Play action here with Howell. Taking his shot. Deep down the field it goes. That's grabbed inside the 30. He does it. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings take a 20-zip lead. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. That one right down the middle. And the Vikings stretch their lead to 21. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Jackson now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the gun, O'Connell. Taken in by Harrison. They drop it with a big hit. At least he's able to hold on for the game, but boy, Brock, what a shot. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 34. He put everything he had into this one. This is caught inside the 15. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this one.
And he's intercepted for the first time this year. And the Vikings take possession as he makes his 4th interception of our season. Inside the red zone, they could feel how tight they were to the goal line. And then bam, Brock, they're off the field after a clutch interception.
I tell you what, football is the ultimate team game, but this is a situation where an individual picks up all 10 of his guys out there on the field. Somebody else is going to pick up the tab at dinner tonight for him.
To the air on 1st down, Howell. That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there. Like a bit of a concentration drop on that one. So 2nd down coming up.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
And it'll be brought down along the 25-yard line. is 15, and it moves the sticks.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that third down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught. No luck finding his receiver that time. So that brings up second down. Here's Howell. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. He throws a bullet to the zone. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. It goes as a pickup of 37 yards. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
He's got it at the 6. And he's going to reach the 6 before he goes out. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Lone back gets the handoff. Hits the end zone for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings both racing them to the halftime locker room. Point after by Mevis is good. And the Vikings continue piling on to this lead. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Jackson now to return it. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Throwing now on 1st down, O'Connell. Gets this to McConkey. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. One play in, and already they're close to midfield. He's got a man left. And they're going to be down close to the 35 as he goes out. The end result there, 15 yards and a first. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. 1st and 10. Here's O'Connell. Oh, no, they get him yet again. Jabril Peppers with the pick. And the Vikings get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Okay, Brock, now back-to-back drives where they have picked him off. That's got to be a worrying trend for these coaches who know how integral the passing game is to their game plan and their success.
Those poker players, the best of them, when they figure out a tell, they know exactly how to beat their opponent. This defense right now, they're reading this quarterback like a book.
So we finished 2 quarters. A couple more to come after this short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Huard with you as we're about set to begin the 3rd quarter. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. He'll bring it out from the middle of the end zone. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Howell. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Here's the lone back on the handoff. Room to work at the 35. And he's all the way forward to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a third down on this possession. Or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
Falls to the ground out left, incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
It is cut left side. And he's tackled for a short gain. So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Howell out of the shotgun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Chargers take possession. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Going to Harris to start the half. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Dallas Turner there to bring him down. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Slot man in motion right. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Jacorian Bennett there for the tackle.
Well, that's a tough one because you can see the beginnings of what looked like an explosive play. Let's give some credit here, Kate, to the defense. A great job to bottle him up before it came to fruition.
He's on the move. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Nice kick there. It's a punt of 53 yards. And they'll get ready to go on offense. On 1st down, they'll run. Breaks the tackle, still going. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2. Back to the well again. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Short pass brought in. Down the left sideline he goes. And he takes it in for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings blowing them out now, 34-zip. Nevis with a point after. And the Vikings grow their lead yet again. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They give to Harris from the gun. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, And you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Caught quickly. Fights off the tackle, but he lost the ball. He left the ball behind. And no turnover. It's going to stay with the offense. So near disaster a moment ago, but the drive's still in trouble if they can't convert on third. And they pick him off again. Ivan Pace has got it. And the Vikings get the football as he makes his third interception of this season. Well, Brock, it has been a special day for this defense when it comes to forcing turnovers. Big play after big play, and that is their fourth interception of this contest.
Special for the defense and an absolute nightmare for a quarterback. One interception, it sticks with you all week long. But throwing four, he probably wishes he could be anywhere else on earth other than this field right now.
It's a solid 70-yard pickup on first down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3. Another carry for it. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger. But that back remains hungry.
And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Sent to the ground by Khalil Mack. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. Back-to-back carries here. And he's going to end up out of bounds, which will end our third quarter. That's the end of the third on Sunday night. It's the Vikings with it to be... A new set of downs awaits them. Here's 1st and 10. First carry here for Aaron Jones. And they're going to bring him down after he drives it down to the 7. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1. Give now to the running back. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know, Kate, these are not the plays that are like bold in the stat sheet when you look back on it. But these are the kind of gains by the running back that keep the offense on schedule and move the chains.
Going to the ground again on first. We'll take it in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings continue adding to an insurmountable lead. Point after by Mevis is good. And the Vikings tack on 7 more to their lead. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Jackson now to return it. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. He's popped at the end of that one. Painful end to a real solid return there. Ball at the 33 for first down. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And it's a touchdown as he brings it back for the pick 6. Wow, talk about aggressive coverage, Brock. To have somebody in position for pick behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this quarterback is never going to take that short pass for granted again. That is usually one you do in your sleep. He's just now going to be restless in his sleep thinking about it.
A quick chance at redemption after that pick 6 as it's sent away. Jackson now to return it. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. O'Connell trying to get after the pick. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
2nd and 10 now. O'Connell. Harrison's got it on the sideline. And he reaches the 35 before going out.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look awesome.
Oh, brother, it's another interception. Ivan Pace has got it. And the Vikings take possession as he makes his 4th interception of our season.
I think it's safe to say his day is beyond repair now, if it wasn't long ago. He just hasn't been reading these coverages at all, and it's clearly not on the same page with his receivers. I think it really is now time to think about his confidence for future games and get him out of this ball game.
And they'll surrender just a lone yard. That brings up 2nd down. They give it to him again. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
It's a gain of 9, and now some options for him on 4th and short. They'll run for this, and he's caught behind the line for a loss. And that run won't come close. That's a turnover on downs. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. Finds his man over the middle. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They kick the running back in motion. 2nd and 8. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 27 on the play. And it brings up an LA 1st down. O'Connell here from the gun. Gets this one to Harrison. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Give him 24 on that play. And the Chargers will have a 1st. Working inside the red zone. Hits his running back. And he takes this one down to the 10 before hitting that sideline.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there.
Oh, no, they get him yet again. And the Vikings get it back on his 6th interception of the season.
You know, my dad was my old high school coach. He's a play caller. He's an offensive guy. And after days like this, and I remember one in particular, he'd say, son, some days peanuts, some days shells. This has been nothing but a bunch of shells for this quarterback today.
They'll run here on 1st down. And they take him down at the 24-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior, 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane. They could stop the clock now if they choose. In the final moments of the game, every second counts. If you're going to call a timeout, you want to be right next to that official to signal it in just as that knee goes down.
So it's a win for the Vikings. And the sting of losing such a close one the week before